That's what I'm talking about, man. Somebody put something in the water. What is it? A different flavor of Gatorade? What is going on? I don't know, man.
So
Just
our Monday night
amazed.
game, Dallas at Arizona. We all took the Cowboys, and the Cowboys win 28-17.
Mm-hmm.
So when when you do the math, Bleacher Report in their picks were below 500. They were 7-9.
Wow. Yep.
Myself, I was below 500 at 7-9. Wayne the Voice Matthews was 9-7.
You know, man, look, that's Atlantics.
And don't even act like you knew that was going to happen.
No, I still say this. I say that's Atlantics because there's still 2 or 3 games that really I know we both picked in unison that really, really, really still turned out to be losses. So it could have been a lot better for both of us versus Bleacher. So I don't consider that something to be excited about. We still got more than 10 more weeks to go. That's rock. It's rock. It's a good start, but this week was really the Redskin game bothered me. The Chicago game bothered me. Be honest with you, the Lions game was actually hilarious to me. It was really hilarious. But in the same token, it did do exactly what you said, and that is the fact that Lions fans are in it until the end of the game. So I see the entertainment value in it, but it's not cool when you're that team that always comes up short. And when they did that, I was like, man.
And see, Atlanta did exactly like I was talking about. You know, when we made these picks, and my concern with them going to Detroit is Atlanta does great on their own home field in their own home dome. It doesn't matter where they're at. If they're at home, they're a team that's unstoppable. You put them on the road. I don't care if it's in the atmosphere, if it's in the elements, or if it's in a dome. They struggle on the road.
Right.
And for all intents and purposes, when I looked at that, when I saw what happened and I kind of looked at all the replays, that should have been a win by Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely agree with you on that. I'm still, like I said, I'm still in shock over the Jets and Dolphins game. If we go back and I pinpoint a couple of games that I did take a loss for, those games that separated the numbers, Ken, quite honestly, either one of us could have ended up between 12-4 and 13. Easy. But nobody, come on. Kreskin with 3 envelopes and X-ray vision glasses would not have seen the Jets getting past the Dolphins, as balanced and as consistent as the Dolphins have played. And still to this point right now, you still can't name a receiver for the Jets.
There are so many games here, Voice, that I could easily, we could try to break down, but it's just a matter of scratching your head and wondering what the heck just happened this week. I mean, Denver and Buffalo. Is Buffalo that good, or did Denver just flat out lay an egg in this game? Pittsburgh and Chicago. I think there's problems in Pittsburgh right now. You've got Ben Roethlisberger, who's already hinted about retirement. I don't think he's into this season.
I definitely think we're in good shape. I just think that Chicago was very excited about this game. They came out, they played, and I would say some things as a Steeler fan, and I know many of my constituents in my Steeler group would definitely agree with me. I've never been a huge fan of Charles Haley. Excuse me. I have never been the offensive coordinator. I'm not a real big fan of Haley. Tar Haley. That's right. Tar Haley. Not a big fan of his. And typically you can see the difference when Ben is not on the field, because usually whatever formation comes in, Ben has to sight read and audible out of it. So a lot of the successes we see on the field come from when Ben makes adjustments on his own. If he comes out of the huddle and he just runs the play, typically we get mediocre results. And that's where I tend to wonder if Haley is even that guy. But you don't mess with you don't mess with things when you're successful. So that being said, I'm not going to put anybody in a bad predicament. As a Steeler fan, I just have my opinions about my team. There's things that I'm pretty sure you can sit down and point out about the Cowboys that people will go, why did he say that? Well, you're a Cowboy fan. You have the right to turn your judgment knob up a notch or two because that's your team. You know what I'm saying? So
yep.
there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things we can speak on. And outside of the Jets and that Dolphins thing, the only thing I really was concerned about was getting together with maybe 4 or 5 guys from Lyft and maybe 6 or 7 guys from Uber and looping around Reagan National Airport and actually Dulles Airport to find out if the Raiders really got off the plane. Because I don't know who that was that walked up in the FedEx.
Yeah, it was not the Raiders, that's for sure.
That was Marshawn Lynch had, 8 yards? 8 yards. Crabtree, I think 3-4 catches.
I think he only had 4. I think he only had 4 catches for 52 yards. I believe it was.
It wasn't worth a conversation. I didn't even put the effort in to remember it. I know Lynch only had 8 yards. You talking about beast mode? You mean cease mode?
Yeah.
It needs to happen. So I think we need to loop the airport, find out what's going on. You know, hey, maybe somebody didn't tell him he's going to get fined, so he would actually show up so he can report to the reporters that he's dead so he don't get fined. Somebody has to do something. It just got out of hand really quick.
Well, the game I want to talk about real quick, because I know we're running out of time and we need to get into our picks for NFL. It is the New Orleans and Carolina game. And this is something I've kind of watched Carolina play the last couple of weeks, and my concern is Cam Newton. We all know what Cam Newton went through last season with the concussion issues, with the complaints of no calls because of his size. Referees are not calling the same calls on him as they would any other quarterback in the NFL. When I watch the Carolina Panthers play right now, I don't see that sparkle. I don't see that excitement from Cam Newton like he really wants to be there. I don't know if you've noticed that or not as well. But when you watch their games, when he's behind center, he's really almost like he's just rolling through the motions.
And at some point in time, you have to agree. I really have to agree with you on that. And I think the year that they actually went to the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl, excuse me, they went into the playoffs. They had a great regular season. Let's leave it at that. He had receivers he had confidence in. He had options in front of him. I believe Olsen got hurt last week or week before last, which took away some options for him as well. The running game has been lackluster. The defense has been carrying him to a degree. And he has a lot of burden on his shoulders being in Carolina because he still hasn't received the type of help he needs in the skill player position. So, of course, I think he would be a little concerned. But at the same token, he's one of those players that are so iconic that if he left Carolina, he would not leave Carolina. He's going to retire a Panther. If he leaves the Panthers, it will change the dynamic of everything because there's no feature player there outside of Luke Kuechly. So I think that right now, Cameron's in an odd spot because he doesn't really feel confident in his supporting cast around him. He doesn't have to come out and say it. I'm sure he never will. But for him to be the kind of player he is, Carolina should have put somebody beside him that would help accommodate or help allow him to be a little more comfortable with things. I think my man over here, Kirk Cousins at Washington, is the same way. Terrell Pryor is not a comfort zone receiver like a Pierre Garçon or a Deshaun Jackson. And Cam hasn't had that kind of luxury receiver since Steve Smith left to go to Baltimore.
Yeah,
there's no one there. There's no one there to really say, okay, well, if I get hurt, who's going to win the game?
Yeah, I just know when I watch his body language, it is not the type of body language I want to see from the leader of my football team on the offense. He just really seems like he just doesn't want to be there.
Right. I'm not to a degree. I don't want to say it that way, but I'm not gonna lay my body on the line for this team, and nobody else really is tripping off of with it. Ain't nobody trying to help me. Ain't nobody serious. Those type of nuances or things you can see, you can almost imply. It's very perceptive of you to see. I saw it as well, but I just didn't comment on it. I kind of figured the theory that I'm giving you now is what was in place, and that is he really is uncomfortable that he doesn't have help. It's not like he has a ridiculous salary that stops them from going out and getting somebody. The problem is finding somebody that would even want to play there. So I think it's a very valid concern. I wonder how long Carolina will continue to go on without getting him someone to help him. I know it's their intention. They may say, that's their goal, but until you bring him a quality receiver that he can rely on, I think you're going to continue to have these issues.
Actions speak louder than words when it comes to that.
Yes, very much so.
All right, so our NFL picks, our NFL games this week. Of course, Thursday night, tonight, we have a game. It's a decent one. Chicago at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I'm going with the Packers as well. Anytime you're playing in Green Bay, you got to go with the Packers.
I'm going to get back. They beat my Steelers. Get them.
Yeah. New Orleans and Miami.
Back. New Orleans.
And I'm taking the Saints as well.
The Jets beat them. He let the Jets beat them. The Jets.
That was my question. How bad are you when you lose to the worst team in the NFL?
Yes.
How bad are you?
Name a quarterback for the Jets.
Hey, how's that Jay Cutler working out for you? How's that Jay Cutler working out for you? Buffalo at Atlanta.
Buffalo's a good team, but Atlanta's far too fast. They do too much. Atlanta.
Well, they are at home. The Falcons are at home. I'm taking Buffalo.
What? Okay.
I think the Bills are that good.
There you go.
I think the Bills are that good. That's my sleeper win right there.
Okay.
Cincinnati at Cleveland. You laughing at me.
Oh, the WC game of the week. The WC game. Who cares? Who?
I think the Dirty Birds get run over by the Bills.
Yeah, I say Cincinnati over Cleveland 6-3.
Oh, you think it'll be that close, huh?
6-3.
I agree, but not on the winner. I'm going with Cleveland.
What?
I think Deshaun Kaiser has been playing fantastic football. He's been leading this offense. He's been losing close games. He has not been getting blown out. I think Cincinnati is the team that they will get that win at home.
Can I tell you something as an AFC North coach, an AFC North fan, an AFC guy?
Okay.
Every other team in the AFC North, when you see Cleveland on your schedule, you start to get your stat sheets out.
Oh yeah, I agree.
This is your fantasy week. So while Cincinnati has had its troubles getting things done, okay, Cleveland scored 28 points on the Colts. They're dreadful. The Colts are dreadful. But that was a dreadful bowl. This game, Cincinnati is going to come out and handle their business because as far as it's always been in the AFC North, it's going to continue to be that way. That Cleveland is just the team that belongs at the bottom. So it's an attitude. I guarantee you start to see the Cincinnati who-they shirts pop up. Who-they boys that beat the Browns. Everybody is what they yell. So I definitely think they'll go that route, but Cleveland did play a pretty good game schematically with the Colts. So I think